almost. We had a good sleep and we slept in, and now we are going to go to downtown. We are going to go to the Charleston Museum first, and we're getting a 3-site ticket so that we can also go to the Hayward Washington House and the Joseph Manigault, something like that. I can't pronounce it.
Well, we're doing this today because the heat index is 110, so we're doing something inside today.
Yeah, so
we need some AC.
Yeah.
I was literally dripping sweat.
Cleaning our shoes.
Yeah.
For 5 minutes, which, yeah, it was a lot.
Like dripping.
Dripping. So, Derek, we will check back in when we are, well, we're going to the Charleston Museum first, so we'll check back in there. I don't know how much we'll be able to talk necessarily because it is a museum.
We'll do a voiceover.
Oh yeah, we could do a voiceover. We also brought our lunch in here because we are doing the 75, the 75 hard challenge. So we have to work out and eat good and everything. So, Derek, any final words?
Nope.
See you later. We have arrived. Did you want your hat?
No.
Okay. We have arrived at the Charleston Museum. I'm gonna flip it around so you can see. And they have a freaking parking lot, which is bon appetit because it's free and you always have to park to go anywhere in Charleston, downtown.
Well, it's not too bad. It's usually only like $10 for a whole day. So.
Yeah, but if you want to go all day, that's annoying, you know?
$10?
It's one of my complaints, all right? I love it, but that's one of my complaints. Oh, we could go this way.
We just Venmoed some random girl $5.
Yeah, there was this girl we were driving behind, and she's having a bachelorette party, or whatever, bachelorette vacation. And, oh, I know. And, wait, John and Meeting Street's entrance, is that this way?
Okay.
Huh? And, yeah, so she's having a bachelorette party or something, vacation. Look at these beautiful trees. And it's had like her Venmo, so we Venmoed her $5 and said congratulations. A dugout canoe out of wood. I don't know what this is. Oh my lord, look at this. This is
Plantation barge, best.
Oh, planked from a single cypress log. Pretty cool. They have some pretty trees over here with like little seating areas. Okay, I'm gonna whisper because it's very quiet in here and it's a museum. But we ended up getting a membership because it was only $10 more than what we were gonna pay. So we have a membership. It's only 60 bucks. That's good.
Just talk like this.
Okay. Anyways, I want to show you the whale. Look at this whale. It's a whale carcass, and in 1880 they pretty much tracked this thing down after they saw it near the port, and they freaking 50 to 60 rowboats and other things attacked it, and they killed it, and some guy got the remains, and now it's here.
It's from This is the funeral carriage from 1884.
How did they use it?
One or two horses would
drag it. Where would the dead people go?
The grieving families directed behind the hearse during funeral processions. The further served as a taxi once services had concluded.
Oh, so this would carry the family of the deceased.
Alright guys, we're about to go into the Low Country History Hall. Horse
trough.
From 1790 to 1810. It's an original.
We found this cool thing. We don't know what it was for. It doesn't say.
Flintlock, something for probably creating a fire or a spark.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we're gonna look it up when we go home. Maybe we'll tell you. Okay, go ahead, Derek.
So I'm assuming that was the same thing. This is for a flint.
For a gun.
For a gun, so it would create the spark and then the gunpowder would...
Right there, that's the piece that we saw. This
Which
one
I
is
think, I'm assuming. I didn't read the thing.
Well, yeah, it's called.
But yes, that's how an old gun would work, obviously.
Yeah. And look at this gun too. Whoa. Pots. This is a rice trunk gate, which we saw one of these in the water in one of our other videos at where is it? The Magnolia Plantation on the boat ride for wildlife. Some of these were there in the water still. We are now moving from the American Revolution era to the antebellum era, where they made a lot of changes. There was a lot of a revolution and in trade and technology. This was to pick up cotton bales. Another machine for cotton. It rolled out, so it's a cotton gin.
So right here is what the British soldier in the 33rd Regiment would wear. And these soldiers...
they had nothing, pretty much.
Yeah, and they basically came from England, Scotland, and Ireland, and some were even American. And the one in the blue is a Continental soldier.
2nd Regiment.
Yeah, South Carolina 2nd Regiment. And
they had more.
And that's what they were at the Battle of Sullivan's Isle.
Yeah. And back here is the Siege of Charleston, that picture back there. So this is called the Best Friend of Charleston. And if you can see this little picture over here, people who paid stocks into the railroad system would ride on the train for like fun. And if anybody watches the show Victoria, about Queen Victoria in England, this is kind of similar to what her husband did in that show.
6 months after the first time passengers were allowed on it, it exploded because a fireman closed the steam relief valve.
So it only lasted 6 months and then it exploded. Here's another push in the antebellum era of textiles and farming. Machinery was really changing and evolving and making things go much quicker. I have some examples of weaving. You can try to weave. Moving to the Civil War past the antebellum period. Now this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Look at that. Here is a Confederate officer's uniform. We all know South Carolina was not on the good side of the Civil War, but here's a silk dress, 1863-ish. Here's a picture of kind of what this would look like on that guy right there. These are so cool. This one is early 20th century. This one is 1875, and this one's 1840. Okay, this is again serving me major Outlander, Claire, and France vibes. Look at this rat. He's eating a block of poison. And there's hair dye. Okay, we've been in this area for a while, but there have been so many people, so I haven't wanted to talk, but look at all this stuff. This was supposed to be economical. Also, look at this bootleg briefcase. Made by none other than Abercrombie and Fitch. Also, you have to see these tiny cameras. Tiny. That camera is. Look at my hand. Now look at this one. Like, this is like the standard. There's me. It's like the standard camera. Look how tiny that is. So these are also medicine things. These are, oh, if I move out of the way. These are for bloodletting. They have 12 razors on them that they use to cut you open for blood. Here's a bleeding bowl where all your blood would go. What else? They would use these things called tooth keys to rip your teeth out. And then they have stuff like tourniquets. And this is to amputate your limbs. But they still use those. Blood aspirator, magnifying glass. There's a salesman's sample trunk, all different kinds of stuff they would sell. Mirrors and pencils and pens, books, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, we're almost done with this, like the time of Charleston. Now we're moving on to something else.